Welcome to Context 101. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of power across Europe and beyond, Hungary has made history. By officially joining the BRICS alliance, Hungary has broken ranks with the European Union and NATO, two pillars that have defined its foreign policy since the end of the Cold War. This decision marks a profound shift in Hungary's global orientation, signaling a willingness to challenge the established order and seek new partnerships outside the traditional Western sphere. This move signals a dramatic pivot away from Western institutions, redrawing the political and economic landscape of Europe. Hungary's decision is not just symbolic, it has real-world implications for trade, security, and diplomacy. As Hungary steps into the BRICS fold, it is positioning itself as a bridge between East and West, but also as a potential disruptor within the European family. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's government has chosen to align with China, Russia, and their allies, betting on a future defined by the East. Orbán has long been known for his nationalist rhetoric and willingness to defy Brussels, but this step goes further than ever before. By forging closer ties with Beijing and Moscow, Hungary is seeking new economic opportunities, energy deals, and political leverage, even as it risks alienating its Western partners. The decision raises urgent questions about European unity and the future of transatlantic alliances. European leaders are now grappling with the reality that one of their own is openly challenging the consensus that has held the continent together for decades. Will Hungary's move inspire others to follow, or will it lead to isolation and internal conflict within the EU and NATO? Hungary's shift is more than a diplomatic disagreement. It's a live test of the Western world order's resilience. The world is watching closely as Hungary navigates this uncharted territory, with analysts debating whether this is the beginning of a broader realignment or a unique gamble by a single nation. The stakes are high, and the outcome remains uncertain. As shockwaves ripple from Berlin to Washington, Europe must now confront what happens when one of its own walks a different path. The coming months will reveal whether Hungary's pivot to the east is a bold new chapter in its history, or a risky move with unforeseen consequences for the entire continent. Hungary's journey to BRICS began with its growing estrangement from the EU. After joining the EU in 2004, Hungary's optimism faded as Viktor Orbán's government clashed with Brussels over rule of law, media freedom, and migration. Orbán's hardline policies, especially during the 2015 migrant crisis, deepened the rift. Disagreements over climate, LGBTQ+ rights, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine further isolated Hungary. As relations with the West soured, Budapest strengthened ties with Moscow and Beijing, championing an Eastern opening. Orbán framed this as pragmatic, arguing Hungary's future prosperity lies with rising Asian powers. Years of political battles set the stage for Hungary's historic leap into the BRICS alliance. The BRICS alliance that Hungary joins today is not just a collection of emerging economies, it is rapidly transforming into a global powerhouse with the potential to reshape the world order. What began as a modest coalition of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa has evolved into a dynamic and influential bloc, now known as BRICS+, that is capturing the world's attention. Far beyond its original form, BRICS has grown from a loose economic partnership into a platform for political dialogue, economic cooperation, and strategic collaboration. The early summits were marked by cautious optimism, but today, the alliance is a symbol of ambition and unity among diverse nations. Recent expansions have brought in Egypt, Iran, and several Southeast Asian economies, with Hungary now joining their ranks. This enlargement signals a new era for BRICS+, as it welcomes countries from different continents, cultures, and economic backgrounds, all seeking a greater voice in global affairs. Together, these nations represent nearly half the world's population, encompassing a vast diversity of people, languages, and traditions. The sheer scale of BRICS+ means that its decisions and policies have the potential to impact billions of lives, from bustling cities in Asia to rural communities in Africa and Europe. The economic influence of BRICS+ is growing rapidly, with its share of global GDP steadily rising year after year. As more countries join, the bloc's collective economic power challenges the dominance of traditional Western economies, offering an alternative vision for global development and cooperation. But BRICS+ is more than just an economic club. It is a political statement, advocating for a multipolar world where no single power dominates. The alliance provides a platform for member states to coordinate on global issues, from climate change to technology, and to push for reforms in international institutions. Its appeal lies in its respect for national sovereignty, allowing each country to pursue its own path while benefiting from collective strength. For many, BRICS Plus offers a chance to escape the constraints of Western-dominated systems and to forge new partnerships on their own terms. Access to alternative financing is a key draw, as BRICS Plus nations can tap into development banks and investment funds that operate free from the political conditions often attached to Western loans. This financial independence empowers countries to invest in their own priorities, from infrastructure to innovation. For Hungary, joining BRICS Plus opens the door to new opportunities for infrastructure development and expanded trade. As a nation at the crossroads of Europe, Hungary stands to benefit from increased investment in its transport networks, energy systems, and digital infrastructure. Especially as a logistics hub between Asia and Europe, Hungary can position itself as a vital link in the flow of goods, services, and ideas across continents. This strategic location could transform Hungary into a gateway for BRICS Plus trade with the European Union and beyond. The bloc's growing control over energy and trade routes further enhances its influence. With key members managing vital oil pipelines, shipping lanes, and freight corridors, BRICS Plus is shaping the future of global commerce and energy security. China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, which connects Asia to Europe through massive infrastructure projects, complements the goals of BRICS Plus. This initiative promises to bring new investment, technology, and connectivity to member states, including Hungary. For Hungary, these partnerships offer a strategic economic future, one that is less dependent on traditional Western markets and more integrated with the fast-growing economies of the East and global South. By joining BRICS, Hungary is making a bold bet on a new global order, one where power is shared, opportunities are multiplied, and the voices of many are finally heard on the world stage. Orbán's Hungarian model rejects the EU's approach, favoring national sovereignty and economic independence. His policies focus on low taxes, family support, and energy independence, often clashing with Brussels. Long-term energy deals with Russia and social policies have shored up domestic support. By joining BRICS, Hungary aims to secure energy and economic stability outside Western influence. Orbán sees the EU as declining and believes aligning with BRICS positions Hungary on the winning side of history. It's a calculated move to ensure Hungary's sovereignty in a multipolar world. Hungary's BRICS entry is the culmination of a decade-long partnership with China. While others distance themselves, Hungary embraced China's Belt and Road Initiative, becoming a key European gateway. Projects like the Budapest-Belgrade Railway and major Chinese investments in manufacturing have transformed Hungary's economy. Hungary has welcomed Chinese tech and EV companies, deepening economic interdependence. Politically, Budapest has supported Beijing and the EU, earning trust and investment. This alignment made Hungary a natural candidate for BRICS, cementing its role as China's closest EU partner. The relationship is built on mutual economic benefit and political solidarity. Hungary's decision to join BRICS has sent shockwaves through the heart of Europe, fracturing the EU's sense of unity and common purpose. For decades, the European Union has prided itself on presenting a united front in global affairs, but Hungary's pivot toward the BRICS alliance, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, marks a dramatic departure from this tradition. The move has left many European leaders questioning the future of the EU's cohesion and its ability to act as a single, influential bloc on the world stage. This unprecedented step by Hungary creates deep conflicts of interest within the EU, especially when it comes to foreign policy on China and Russia. With Hungary now closely aligned with two of the EU's main geopolitical rivals, Brussels finds itself paralyzed, unable to reach consensus on critical issues. The result is a growing sense of frustration and uncertainty among member states, as the EU's ability to respond to global challenges is undermined from within. Across the continent, populist leaders are seizing on Hungary's example, arguing that it's possible to defy Brussels and chart an independent course. For them, Hungary's move is proof that national sovereignty can trump EU directives, inspiring similar sentiments in countries where Euroscepticism is already on the rise. This shift is fueling debates about the very nature of European integration and the limits of EU authority. The EU's traditional disciplinary tools, such as sanctions, funding cuts, and legal proceedings, may prove ineffective against a member state now backed by the economic and political weight of BRICS. Hungary's new alliances provide it with alternative sources of support, making it harder for Brussels to enforce its rules or bring Budapest back into line. This development raises serious questions about the EU's ability to maintain discipline and solidarity among its members. The implications extend beyond the EU. NATO, the cornerstone of European security, now faces new dilemmas. Hungary's deepening ties to Russia and China have raised concerns about trust, intelligence sharing, and the integrity of the alliance. Allies worry that sensitive information could be compromised, and that Hungary's loyalties may be divided in times of crisis. In response, some NATO members are considering restricting Hungary's access to classified information, effectively creating a two-tier alliance. This would weaken the collective security that NATO was designed to provide, and could set a precedent for further divisions within the alliance. Meanwhile, Hungary's move has emboldened Eurosceptic movements across Europe. Protests and political campaigns are gaining momentum, with activists and politicians calling for more autonomy from Brussels or even outright exits from the EU. The risk of further fragmentation is real, as the European project faces one of its most serious challenges yet. As Europe grapples with these internal divisions and the growing influence of external powers, the continent stands at a crossroads. The choices made in the coming months will shape not only the future of the EU, but also the balance of power in the world for years to come. Hungary hopes BRICS membership will attract investment and make it a global trade hub, but its economy is deeply tied to the EU, especially Germany, and this pivot risks alienating key partners. European firms may de-risk by moving supply chains out of Hungary, accelerating its economic shift eastward. Hungary's hybrid model, EU market access with BRICS backing, could spark trade disputes and claims of unfair advantage. Consumers may benefit from lower prices, but political instability could disrupt growth and jobs. The EU faces tough questions about its single market rules and the limits of member state autonomy. Hungary's move forces Europe to confront the economic realities of strategic divergence. Reactions to Hungary's BRICS entry are sharply divided. EU officials call it a betrayal, warning a member cannot serve two masters. BRICS leaders celebrate Hungary's move as proof of their growing influence. Analysts say Hungary is making a high-stakes gamble. If the East rises, Orbán looks visionary. If not, Hungary risks isolation. Central European neighbors worry about regional solidarity and fear being left behind. The move exposes deep fissures within both the EU and Hungary's own region. Hungary's choice is reshaping alliances and raising the stakes for Europe's future. Hungary's BRICS membership marks a turning point for Europe and the world. The era of Western-led unity is over. A new age of geopolitical competition has begun. The EU must now decide if it can accommodate such divergent interests or risk fracturing. Hungary's move could inspire more fragmentation or force the EU to reform and adapt. The outcome will shape Europe's identity, security, and prosperity for years to come. As old certainties fade, Europe faces a future defined by complexity and hard choices. The only certainty: the world's political map is being redrawn, one bold move at a time.